Welcome to Beauty and the Gi, a podcast on Jiu-Jitsu and so much more. I'm AJ Clingerman, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt full of curiosity and questions about all things Jiu-Jitsu.
And I'm Jen Eads, a blue belt, obsessed with Jiu-Jitsu since we wrapped up Roll Model Grappling Camp.
We figured it was time for a switch up.
And I really do feel obsessed. It just camp lights a fire.
It really does. And I was saying that to the students last week of just like, I am never more fired up than the week, or at least a few weeks after camp. Like, I make everyone work a little harder. I've got some fancy stuff I want to try. I am never more fired up than when we leave camp.
Yeah, same. Except for right now, I'm sick.
No.
So I'm not training.
Yeah.
Which is very sad. But I'll get back to it. Still fired up.
Still fired up, still obsessed.
Yeah, a little congestion can't put this fire out.
That's right.
I am ready.
So let's talk about camp.
Okay.
I'll start with Thursday night because you were not there Thursday night, right?
I was not there. No.
Yeah. So Thursday night's like the unofficial kickoff to camp. And I think we had 55 women on the mat for women's class.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Good class. Rachel taught both the women's only class and the co-ed class. So that was a lot of fun.
Nice.
It was a great time. It was a really cool time to kind of get to know a few people on a smaller basis, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. So then Friday morning, I kicked it off with a little game to kind of show people that we're in this together. We need each other.
Uh-huh.
And I played High School Musical. We're all in this. It felt appropriate.
Yes.
And then you came up and sang us some songs.
I did. That was really fun.
It was fantastic. It was so much fun. It was I think we have to start all camps that way now.
Okay, I'm there. I'm down for that.
Because it was so much fun and everyone loved it.
Oh, that's good to hear. Because you never know. That's a little different than things you've done in the past.
I think Roll Model Camp in general is a little different than what most people have done in the past.
Well, there is that. Okay, yeah. So I feel like we should time out for a minute for anybody that might be new to the podcast, or maybe there's just a few episodes in it and they're like, what is this magical thing that is this Roll Model Grappling Camp? So just, if you're new, welcome. We are so excited that you're here. And we have a starter pack of episodes that we've put together for you that there's a link to in the show notes.
Excellent. Yes, definitely. And camp is magical. That is a good way to describe it.
Uh-huh.
And camp is already on sale for next year. So it's July 12th through the 14th. And we are like 5 spots away from being 50% sold out.
I love that camp is pretty much already planned for next year. It's already up for sale. It's not just the jiu-jitsu that it inspires. It's this whole other thing.
Yeah. And, like I say, I'm never more amped up than I am the weeks after camp. But that's also the same for I'm never more inspired than I am the week going into camp. Mm-hmm. So the week going into camp, Brissa and I are texting back and forth like crazy. Oh, this should be our theme next year. This should be our dance party. This should be our, we should ask this instructor. So we have our instructors booked already. We've got our theme down. We've already started looking for swag that's a little different to go along with the theme. And
cool.
I've already started planning what I'm teaching at next year's camp.
Of course you have.
So yeah, full on crazy.
So I have a question about that. So with the instructors, do you request that they teach something specific, maybe that they're known for, or do you kind of let them kind of teach whatever they feel like teaching?
Yeah, for the most part, I let them teach whatever they feel like teaching. Rachel always asks me. So this was our 10th camp. Rachel's been at all 10 camps.
And Rachel is?
Rachel Casias. She's my coach. And obviously we're all obsessed with her.
Yes.
But she probably didn't ask me the first couple of camps. But since then, she always asks, what do I think she should show and everything. So, but other than that, I tend to let them do what they want. I think, that could change in the future. There could be people that we specifically want a certain type of thing from, whatever they're known for or something like that. But yeah, we kind of let them guide the way a little bit.
Cool. just curious.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I was very excited that Friday night we started with a takedown and with stand up. I was like, oh, this is good. And so that was Nattie Boss that did that session.
Yes. Yes. And she does judo as well. So she taught a judo kind of foot sweep takedown. And then the progression from that, which is often how I teach in classes. So, I think that was really good for us. To back up a little bit, we did like different workshops throughout the day.
Oh, yeah.
Megan Timler did one on injury prevention through strength training. We had Elizabeth Landry do nutrition, Molly Rubel do goal setting, and then I was doing like business workshops in another room. And those all, I think everything went great as far as the workshops go. Honestly, overall, we're always trying for it to be our best camp yet. And I think this one hit the mark. It's funny because it almost feels like a close to flawless camp. And yet we have scroll and scroll and scroll of notes of things we want to fix for next year. Because intense. But yeah, but I started to say what I think is kind of wild about this camp is typically at an all women's camp, a lot of people are teaching guard work, like bottom stuff. And I don't think we got any bottom guard stuff, really. We got a lot of like top stuff, some passing and everything. And typically there really isn't much stand up. And 3 out of 4 of the instructors did a little bit of stand up, whether that was just grip fighting or easy takedowns that are really attainable for people. So yeah, I just thought how interesting it is to see that change in really what women are teaching, like it's not just now that like women are all guard players, because obviously we can't be all guard players. That doesn't make sense. I mean, like, we can all play definitely, but we can't all specialize in it because somebody's going to be on top. So it was really cool to see just how that's progressed and how much top game got taught this year.
Well, I'll just put my request in now for more stand up because for me, that is something I always need help with. So
absolutely.
So there's my request.
I think a lot of people get very nervous about doing stand up, but I think there's so much stand up that we can do that is gentle's the wrong word, but just attainable and not dangerous. If that's it doesn't have to be something to be afraid of.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm all for basic.
Yeah. Yeah. So Friday was fantastic. Saturday morning, Rachel taught, and we did request, so like you were asking, did we request stuff? We requested some of her old warm-ups. We did the little hop over things and stuff like that. Everyone loves that, like it just is so empowering because you look at it and you're like, I don't think I can do that. And then you try it and you're like, oh my God, I can do that.
I can do the hop over, but like the flip over when you're on your head, I was like, I tried it. Good. She says no one has ever died.
Right.
Doing her warm-ups.
Yeah, that's still
true. Still true. And I tried it and it was a hot mess, but I did at least attempt it.
And then I taught Saturday afternoon. I taught some turtle stuff because I think that's lacking in a lot of people's games. I don't think enough people do anything from turtle. So we taught some turtle stuff. And that was fun.
I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. I enjoy it. Of course, chokes are my favorite. So there's lots of fun chokes.
Yes.
And then Saturday night was the Halloween party.
That was so much fun.
Yeah. What'd you dress up as?
I put on a fancy white shirt and some lipstick and said I was a lipstick lesbian. That's as crazy, as creative as I got.
Rissa and I were Ricky and Lucy.
You guys look so cute.
Thank you. It's so funny because I hate my hair red. Hate it, hate it, hate it. And people kept going, you should dye your hair red. It makes you so well. And I was like, oh my God. I hate it so much. Being in the wig, I was like, I don't want to look in the mirror. I hate my hair red.
Wow.
But apparently it fits my face.
You guys look great. I'm just going to say that.
Thank you.
It was so much fun. Anytime there are dinosaurs, like inflatable dinosaurs, it's a party.
Steel City, oh my God. All of their girls dressed up as different guards. So they were like spider guard and squid guard, and there were turtles. So I guess just different jujitsu moves, but they were so cute. There's butterflies. Like just, I thought their costumes were very well thought out. Very cute.
Yeah, there were some great costumes. Nicole.
Yes. Oh my gosh. She was dressed as Sally. I mean, people were joking she was Cheater because, she does cosplay, but, but yeah, she looked fantastic.
Yeah. Wait, Sally from
Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So cute. I loved her outfit.
And the lip sync battle was great.
Absolutely. Raised some money. We ended up throughout the weekend raising a little over $1,500 for the Alzheimer's Foundation.
That's incredible.
So that was really great. And then, Sam and Andrea, they were dressed as Operation. They made the Operation costume. It worked. You could remove the heart and so cute. There were just some great costumes. We did a costume contest, of course. But yeah, I think the party was a blast. And then the after party where we hung out on the patio.
That might have been one of my favorite parts of the whole weekend.
It was so much fun. Risser had sent me to bed because I was hurting, which is no surprise. So she was like, you go ahead and go lay down. I'll finish mopping the mats. So my friend Tina drove me around to the front of the building so I didn't have to walk all that way because, again, I was hurting. And then I get there and somebody swoops me up and takes me outside. So I didn't make it to my room. And they said I could sing Me and Bobby McGee with you. And I was like, all right, this is where I live now. So we stayed up way too late.
I'm glad I could be such a good influence.
But it was so much fun. We had a great time just kind of hanging out and bonding.
Yeah, I think anytime there's a fire pit and music and just hanging out, that was definitely a favorite for me.
I love anytime there's live music like that. Growing up, every party my dad threw, there'd be live music. So it's just so close to my heart. So anytime there's just some live music happening. So thank you for bringing that love to me.
Oh, so happy to do that. There'll probably be more of that next year.
Excellent. I love it.
Yes. Yeah. Get your requests in now. I've got a year to learn them.
And then Sunday, we had Emily Kwok teach.
So incredible.
Everyone just loves Emily.
That was just everything. The jiu-jitsu part was great, but the beyond jiu-jitsu and the connecting the dots and just the bigger themes of what she talked about, I was like, oh, I really needed this. I think we all did.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one thing that Emily really brings is just the knowledge bombs.
Yeah. Just we're just going to connect the dots and I'm not going to overwhelm you with any more stuff. I think she's really good at reading the room and just kind of figuring out what to do with all of us.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and of course we had yoga and we had breath work.
Oh, that breath work, that Nattie Boss session.
Yes.
I'm so glad I went. I know how I function. And so I had to make sure that I had accountability. So I was like, hey, CJ, are you going to go to breath work? Because it was at 7 a.m. It's yep. So I was like, okay, then I will commit. I know somebody's going to be there. So now I have to go do it.
Yep. Somebody that knows your face and is like, hey, I missed you at breathwork this morning if you weren't there.
Yeah. Then I would feel really terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. So accountability is always helpful. That's good. So yeah, she just does such a phenomenal job. It was really good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, lots of great stuff for camp. So you said Saturday night, probably one of your favorite parts.
Yeah.
Also, you were a mat monster. Every time you turned around, you were rolling. You did so well.
I don't know who I am anymore.
You are Jen Eads, a blue belt in Brazilian obsessed with jiu-jitsu.
Apparently so. And apparently I like people now. And I was making all sorts of friends. I can't remember everyone's names, but I met so many people and rolled with so many people. I probably did more rounds this year than in all the years past combined. And it was so much fun. And I think I just wanted to go have fun, see what different people do. And I didn't feel any pressure nobody cares if I'm good at jiu-jitsu or not. Like nobody's going to judge.
Yep.
I mean, like, unless I'm just a jerk face or something.
Yeah. Right.
But just to go and roll with all of these different people and different ages and different body types and different styles of things that they do, it was so much fun. You know, I might not be the best round that you have this weekend, but I will be one of the most fun.
Yeah.
That's just my goal.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm hoping you rolled rounds for me.
I did. You can have some of mine.
We're the exact opposite because you rolled the most combined. And I actually did 0 jiu-jitsu at this camp. I mean, I taught, so I was obviously doing jiu-jitsu then. And I walked around and helped a lot. So I would, show moves on people that, Rachel was teaching or Natalie or whatever. But as far as like actually getting to train, I did not train an ounce at this camp. I mean, the thing is, obviously I'm obsessed with jiu-jitsu and it invigorates me and everything too, but it's just a different experience for Issa and I, like we are running it. So we're always making sure that everything's going smoothly. Plus our gear was fire this year.
Yeah, it was.
And so our booth was always hopping.
Yeah.
So, it was just, it was, I was a little sad that I didn't really get to train at all, but I have several training trips planned coming up too, that I'll get in some of my own training. So
nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe we can block some time for you next year that like get to roll, wrestler gets to roll. And I don't know, there's got to be a way to build that in. Right.
Yeah. It's so hard because we'll say like the booth is open this time to this time, but if there's 10 people standing at the booth, I'm over there and sell stuff.
Yeah, because business AJ takes over.
Yeah, exactly. AJ's like, I can roll another time, but like right now I got to sell stuff. So so we'll figure it out. We've got some plans for some things next year, so hopefully I'll be able to get in a little more training next year.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. Speaking of plans. Another thing that came out of camp is we decided to run a white belt camp. That's going to be August 25th through the 27th in Indianapolis at our gym. So not really like the big production that camp is, but it's attacks from everywhere. Anybody's welcome. You don't have to be a white belt. Just know that they're white belt level techniques, right? Like everybody needs basics, so it doesn't matter. In fact, we have more blue belts registered right now than we do white belts.
Go blue belts.
Right? Yeah. I mean, it's going to be good for everyone. I have a black belt talking about coming because, like being able to watch somebody else teach the techniques or adding to your curriculum or whatever is going to be good. So we're doing attacks from everywhere. It'll be, mount, side control, rear mount, guard. We'll do some sweeps. We'll do some stand up. We'll do some, maybe game planning and competition prep talk. So we've got a lot of plans for it and I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be, like attendance wise might be small for the first one, but I think the idea of it is going to be huge. I think we're going to get a lot done and help a lot of people. So I'm really excited.
I love the idea of that.
Yeah. And we tried to make it a little more affordable. So it's only $150 for the whole weekend. And we'll put out a schedule. And, if you can't make every session, it's still going to be worth it to get in a bunch of the sessions. So
very cool.
Yeah, I guess I should say you can register for that at rollmodelswanted.com, just like you can for our women's only camp.
And what if they want to register to go to Costa Rica?
Yeah, if you want to go to Costa Rica, the website for that is herobjj.com because we're going through the non-for-profit that we go down and train at. So if you get on there, you can pick retreats, and then it's Role Models Gone Gi because it's us and Ray and Rachel. So
yay.
Yeah, I'm so excited for Costa Rica. I was typing up a email yesterday about it and just like writing up all the things for people to get excited about. I started getting amped and I was like, it is too far away. You cannot be this amped.
That is just how you are. That is just you.
It is. It's who I am as a person. I can't help it.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the recap. We should talk a little bit about, I'd like to tell some things of like what people are saying after camp.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you see that message in the WhatsApp today?
Yes.
Yeah. So this girl messaged and said, she's very introverted, very shy. And a new girl came into her gym last night, and she didn't really say anything to her at first, just because that's who she is. She,
Yeah, I get that.
Really. Yeah, exactly. And then kind of recognized that no one else was talking to her either.
Uh-huh.
And so went up and said hi, which was a big deal for her.
Yeah.
And then, talked to her a lot after class and stuff. And just, thanked us for giving her the courage to step outside her comfort zone and help welcome another woman onto the mat. I just thought it was really cool because that really changed that visitor's experience. Like
Totally.
feel welcome is huge.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that was one, like we've gotten so many good stories of things that have come out of camp, but like that was one that I really enjoy because I think it's hard to get on the mats. It's so hard. And this is a person that had trained somewhere else, and transplants are always hard because you already know some jujitsu. So nobody's just like, let me take you under my wing. But also you're new and you don't know anyone. So you need somebody to take you, in and adopt you kind of. So
I love that. I'm sure that there will be more of those stories and comments in the coming weeks.
Absolutely. And, like we get lots of the comments of like, hey, I hit Nattie's takedown in class today, or, I hit Rachel's guard pass in class, or, so, we get lots of the jujitsu ones. So that's really cool. But I think the ones where we're helping spread the word of jujitsu and helping people feel welcome in jujitsu are the most powerful to me.
I feel like that's a good on the mat tip for this week because we haven't really done on and off the mat tips in a while.
We haven't.
No, we need to get back on that.
Yeah. Okay. So on the mat tip is be welcoming to new people.
Yeah.
Say hello, make friends. What's our off the mat tip?
I think for our off the mat tip, I'm going to go back to Emily Kwok. And one of the things that she talked about during her session was living a life of training and doing what's real. So like, she kind of talked about, you can watch the instructionals and read the books and blah, blah, blah. But like, you have to go put into practice these things that you're learning. And so get out there and get in it. And I don't know. I just took away from that, like, go out and experience the real things. If you want the ice cream, like eat the actual ice cream. Don't eat like the diet ice cream.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think some of that goes back to like, you've got to have some moderation, but go do the real thing and get that real experience. And I kind of feel like that's what I did with camp this year by actually staying there and actually immersing myself in it. It was a completely different experience for me than it had been in previous years.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I had, like when I talk to people one-on-one, I'm always like, what was your favorite part? That kind of stuff. But also if they've been to other camps, like what did you like about that camp over ours? What did you like about ours over that one? That kind of stuff. And this girl had been to a Globetrotter camp where she stayed on site. She did not stay in the hotel for our camp. So she was saying, I really like how we were just immersed in it. We were all together the whole time. So like, if you could create that kind of environment, I think that'd be really good. And I was like, we did. We were there the whole time. You just weren't. So you felt like we didn't have that cohesiveness, but the people that stay in the hotel do feel that. Like we eat breakfast together. We hang out at the bar together. We, hang out by the fire pit together. Like for us, it is that togetherness the whole time. So I just think that's really interesting. People's perspectives are different when they stay somewhere else. So yeah, that's, like for you got to be immersed in it the whole time and really experience what that feels like.
Yeah. And it was just a whole new level of fun and shenanigans. Like there was some shenanigans.
Yes. Yes.
Mostly what I love is that it was like with the people on my team, but that I don't get to normally even spend that much time with because, we see each other on the mat and in class for a few minutes before and after, but like, that's it. But to actually like get to sit on a couch and have conversations and spend time. And I'm just going to give Abby a shout out right now because her trail mix was just like, I'm glad I stayed just to get to experience that. I mean, if we're just being honest, it's amazing.
Abby's always great for the snacks.
That's right. Go to the moms for the snacks.
Right? Yeah. I'd like to give just a couple quick shout outs too, because like Abby and Amanda were so helpful. They did a lot to help us, especially at the booth and stuff. Abby, like with the mats, Max and Jess and Jonathan and Eddie like came and helped with the mats too. Like it really takes a village. Sam and Andrea, who we just met in May, were clutch. Like every time I turned around, Sam or Andrea was like, "What do you need? How can we help?" Like I'm like, "Experience camp, have a good time." And like we've made such good friends with them. I think they're coming to White Belt camp.
Nice.
We're one of Rachel's intensives together. They're coming to Costa Rica. They're already registered for Indy Base Camp next year. Like we're just going to meet up and do camps together all over the place.
I love it. I'd love to hear that you're going to go to camps too, so that you can actually get that experience that you create for everyone else.
Thank you. Thank you. They're all different. They're all different experiences, but at least I'll get to, it's always nice to get to be a student too. Like, I think that's important.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Which is when we reversed our roles of our introduction and you say you're obsessed and I'm full of curiosity. Like that's something that a lot of black belts talk about is, when you get to black belt, it's not like, cool, I got this. I know jiu-jitsu. It's just like, oh my God, I still have so much to learn. It's a never ending process. It's always more to learn. So I am full of curiosity and questions.
I love that. Well, one of the things that was so cool to see at camp too was the other instructors sitting in and watching other people's sessions. I'm like, that's really cool. I think it just says a lot about them and who they are and their curiosity. And it feels supportive also, but it also feels like they still get that there's still so much to learn.
Yep. And if you look, like there were, probably 10 black belts or something at camp this year. And the one, like Elena Arnett asked more questions than anybody else. And I sent her a message afterwards that was like, I love that for a few reasons. One, because I always tell my students it's typically the higher ranks asking the questions because they recognize the parts that are missing more. But also it shows that you never stop asking questions. Like it's safe to ask questions. Nobody's making fun of you. And that's how you learn more. Like if you don't understand something or if you want, more information, ask questions.
Oh, and I just also want to say too, thank you for everybody that came up and said something nice about the podcast or that was giving us ideas, because I've got notes from conversations with suggestions for upcoming podcast episodes. So thank you for all of that. It was just, I don't know. It's just nice to hear that there are real people that listen to this and they seem to like it. Okay.
We've been doing this podcast for 4 years now, and we just started a group note with future episodes. Yeah. But we've got so many ideas. So we've got the next few months planned out of what you're going to be learning. So, or what you're going to be hearing from us.
Exactly. And we are going to start putting more video on the YouTube channel. So if you have not already, subscribe to Beauty and the Gi podcast on YouTube. There's a link in the show notes. Go do it.
All right. I think we've covered it all and then some.
I think you're right. All right, friends. Thanks for tuning in. And we will see you.
Wait. We didn't tell them where to find us.
Oh, right. I'm so out of practice. Okay. In addition to YouTube, you can find us hanging out on Instagram at Beauty and the Gi Podcast. And I'm also there at Brassy Broad Jen and on TikTok.
And I'm AJ Clingerman everywhere you go. I guess including TikTok because it's Roll Model, but you can also find me by name. So
yeah, you're there.
I'm there. You'll find me.
All right, friends. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you on the mat. Beauty and the Gi is a production of the Brassy Broadcasting Company.
And brought to you by Roll Model Grappling.